Welcome to episode 4 of Never Enough Gaming. My name is Justin, and I'm here with Andrew.
All good, man.
Hey, you have like three
I
different names, technically.
I know it's crazy. I go by a lot of my friends just call me Tiny because I'm a large man and
We're talking about Mega Man X.
that's right.
Um, what's your history of Mega Man?
Oh my gosh. Well, ever since I was a little kid, there was this really crappy '80s cartoon of Mega Man, and I loved it. It was so great. It had all the well, I mean, it had Mega Man and it had his sister. I forget her name, but like
Was
it had
it,
all these characters like Cutsman, Gutsman, and then like they were the only two, you know, like consistent characters. There was Doctor Wily and his brother. His older brother was on the bad side, and
but
they just it
Cutsman
was
and Gutsman made it the series regulars?
yeah they were the series
Interesting.
regulars. Cutsman and Gutsman, and his brother whose name escapes me right now. I think it was Proto Man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other bad guy robots, they were all like interchangeable.
So Cutsman and Gutsman are the Bebop and Rocksteady of Mega
Yes, exactly.
Man.
Exactly. And then
Was
so
it?
that was my earliest thing with Mega Man, but like after that, my friends well actually I should say the family that babysat my siblings and I, they had a Super Nintendo and I was playing Mega Man X as long as I can remember.
Oh yeah. Was that
Yeah, man.
show in the same vein as like the Super Mario show?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think the Mega Man was better than the Super Mario or like the Zelda, but like that's probably because I have much less exposure to those.
Right. I'm gonna have to check that out actually after this.
Yeah, it's
Um,
I'm sure it's super campy though.
oh, that's gonna be the best part of it.
That's right.
So have you played much of the originals or just X?
Just X really. X has confounded me since I was 7 years old.
Tell you
You
what,
know.
playing this game without save states. This time I did it with save states, but I played it on the X collection first, and I did it without them because I was trying to get the achievements. Now I no longer care about those, so damn.
Right, right. If you care about like the achievements and like being the best of the best, you're gonna drive yourself nuts with this game because it was pretty difficult.
Oh yeah, I drove myself nuts trying to beat it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah,
my one buddy compared it to like 8-bit Dark Soul.
pretty much. Like I mean, I get it. It's good because, it definitely makes the game longer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
it's not a speed run kind of game.
And Sigma's Fortress, I played through it today and it is like four separate stages and it's pretty long.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's the original 8 levels where you have to defeat, like Chill Penguin or Inferno Mammoth or whatever.
Yeah, and there's reason to go back too because you do things in other levels that affect the environment in other levels too.
Exactly. Like
So,
whenever you get the firepower, you can blow up the tanks in the one level easier than like shooting at it with your blaster so many times.
yeah, and if you beat like Chill Penguin stage, the Flame Mammoth stage freezes over. So you can like
Yeah,
bypass a lot of enemies that way.
yeah, for sure.
Do you, what order do you usually go in?
Oh, I always go Chill Penguin first because I've
Oh yeah.
always been told that's the easiest. But
Yeah, me
then
too.
after that, go foggy because it depends on who you ask what the easiest is. So I usually go air, but I've been trying to work through the mammoth, the fire stage.
Yeah, I usually go with Chill Penguin and then go for the weaknesses after that. Just there's a nice order to it. But I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
do a Mega Buster run, although I know it'll frustrate me, and
Oh
I'll
yeah, for
probably give
sure.
up at the fortress.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those mega busters, they're cool, but like it's so hard to get out if like you fall down a chasm or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's where most of my deaths come from. Well, actually, spikes probably more than anything.
Spikes. I mean, all of it. Like the enemies are just like the fact that they respawn as soon as you like move past them is crazy. Like it
It
it it just adds to the difficulty.
it's nice for like the same reason they do it in Metroid, just for like it's good for pickups and stuff. but when you're trying to just get through the stage, that can be rough.
Yeah, it can be very frustrating. But it's like one of those kind of like frustrations. It's like, damn it, I'll get it next time. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And it doesn't really punish you that much as long as you use passwords and like it's pretty generous with lives. There are some pretty good spots you can grind them out.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah,
Uh,
you can go through and you can get all sorts of dropped stuff. Like I mean, the health containers, all that stuff.
yeah. There's one spot specifically where it's good to grind stuff, but the way they do it is because it's in Sigma's Fortress and everything there has to be difficult.
Mm.
So it's like a long vertical hallway that you're wall jumping where the enemies come out. It's good for pickups right
Uh,
before the final part because there's no way you're getting there with that much health unless you're a professional.
exactly. Like that's kind of a struggle with some of the levels. Is like you get by the time you get to the boss battle, your health tank's low, and you basically have to burn a life to go through it.
Yeah, it's rough because you get there less than half and you're like your morale is just gone. You're like,
Yeah,
fuck.
exactly. You get there with less than half. Like it's almost like just you try, but like at the same time, you kind of allow yourself like, well, I know I'm just not going to beat him this way.
Yeah, like I know they get the boss patterns down of like the final boss because there's
Mhm.
so much going on. Have you seen the final boss?
No, I haven't. I
Oh,
mean,
like
I'll be real honest. It took me forever to even beat Chill Penguin by myself. You know?
playing this without save states. It took me a few weeks of
Oh
just
yeah.
playing it to really get down. But yeah, this playthrough I played to save states and it's so much more chill. It's nice.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. That I used to be like, no save states, but as I get older and I'm playing so many more games now, like sometimes I just want to beat the game.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you want the payoff. You put in the
Yeah.
work and you want the payoff. Which Mega Man, like back whenever it was for the Super Nintendo specifically, like you had to enter that code to move past. And like that was like if you there was ways like you get codes off your buddies, but like you got to remember this came out in 1993. There was no internet or anything. So it's like that kid down the block beat this one level. He'll give you the code, and then you beat another level off that code. You pass it back and forth. That was the best way to like quote unquote like cheat the game.
Oh yeah. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm
If you don't,
33.
I'm 27, and the earliest I remember anything like that happening was, I mean, there was still internet, but us younger kids, most of us didn't really get on it that much.
Right?
Was I was probably in like middle school or elementary school when Fallout 3 came out, and none of us really had phones or looked anything up, so we were just all talking about all the crazy shit you can find in it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then,
They used to sell game guides, like there were magazines
oh
that would
yeah,
walk you through the game. And like to some extent that's cheating. Like you know what I mean? That's cheap. Not like cheating, but it's cheap because you still got to do the thing. But it's so much more adventurous and more fun in my opinion to not have like a guide.
oh yeah, and especially you get some kids lying about what they found, so you go try to
Right.
find it, and you're
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And then it's like so that's one of the upsides of the guide is that like you know, you look through there that doesn't exist. It's like, you're full of shit.
yeah,
I used to do it a little bit too because you know you tell tales outside school. You know what I mean? Like you just want everyone to think like, oh, I did this thing, and yeah, it's a cheap way to get some sort of attention for for the
right.
moment.
It's fun. I think everyone does it to an extent when you're younger.
I think so too. I mean, it's called exaggeration, and we all do it.
Yeah.
So
Shall we start with the game?
yeah, let's go.
All right, Mega Man X, developed by Capcom, published by Capcom in 1993 for the Super Nintendo. It is set 100 years after the original series, and the Reploids start going maverick against the humans under the control of Sigma. And X, who is your character, kinda jumps to the other side with the humans, and now you're taking on the Mavericks as a Maverick Hunter. Um, have you ever played Mega Man Zero?
No, I'm not familiar. Was that
Uh,
after or before X Men? Or I mean X Men, Mega Man X.
uh, after. It was a Game Boy Advance series.
Okay,
But
okay.
that's like all about the Maverick Hunters and stuff. There's so many damn Mega Man games. I
There's so
want to
much
play over.
lore.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like if they made like a if they had like respond like what word do I want to use? If they had really good CGI, maybe like and a good budget, they could make a really convincing Mega Man movie series.
Oh, they could definitely. And I think we're going to start seeing more shit like that, especially with the success of the Mario movie and
Oh yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
Zelda one coming out.
Dude, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I love Zelda, so I am excited just because of the fact we're getting a Zelda movie. Like, fuck
Yeah.
yeah. But, you know,
I'll be honest,
we'll
it's
see
gonna be
how it goes.
weird hearing Link talk.
Right, they said in an interview he's going to talk, right?
Yeah. Like yeah, I mean, how could you have a movie where the main character doesn't talk, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you still could do it.
I mean,
Like,
you could, but like that'd be a really hard thing to watch. It would be a slog to get through.
the game starts off on like a ruined highway, which I have so many memories of this level. This is one of those games I played like the first level of 100 times
Mhm.
just because I've started it
Oh,
that many
absolutely.
times.
It's because like if you don't write down the code, you have to start again.
Yep, man. And I love this level. Like it looks great, and the street gets destroyed by the enemies that drop these like crushing things on it, and there's like ruined
Yeah,
cars
there's like
everywhere.
these giant like every kind of robot has like an organic like model. Like the things in the first level, they look like giant wasps, but they're airships.
Yeah, that's so cool about the enemies in these games.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in the woods levels, you get like robotic woodpeckers onto the trees, and
Yeah, with the buzz saws on their heads.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, the design is very well done.
Like bits of the highway are crumbling off, which looks really cool. The flying enemies are in the most inconvenient spots for them to be in.
Oh, for sure.
Right over pits, right over spikes.
And it's not like you can shoot straight up.
Yeah, no matter, I still try to do it every once in a while on accident, but never works.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
one of those. It's one
eventually,
of those reflexes from playing all those other games. It's like you in any other game you can shoot something straight up,
not
not in
even
these ones.
Contra.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not in these side scrollers.
which I kind of like because it gives a different kind of challenge to it. It has to make you, it makes you uh try different
It makes
tactics.
you, yeah, exactly. It makes you strategize a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Another enemy I like here are these they're called road attackers. They're like on motorcycles.
Oh
Or no,
yeah.
they're on cars. They're like
No, I know what you're saying. Like those old the ones that look like the Batmobile or whatever.
yeah, pretty much. And you can like blow up their car then take them out. So
Yeah.
uh then you get the Vile, who's this purple robot, and
Oh right, right.
he
I
comes out
forgot his
of the
name.
airship and he's in a
Yeah.
mech. So he's a robot in a mech, which is some Inception type shit, I
Yeah,
think.
exactly. It's a robot in a robot.
Yeah. So you fight him, and it's one of those battles where you have to lose. What do you think when games do that? Do you like that?
I really don't because it's like I mean, I get it. It furthers the story, but like the first time you play it, you like lose your mind before you realize, "Oh, I was supposed to lose."
Right, especially when it doesn't do it in this part, but there's another part later in the game where you have to fight Vile,
Mhm.
and you have to lose, but I didn't know you have to lose, so I wasted so much ammo and energy.
Exactly. It's like don't run through your resources, you're going to lose anyway.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, the one that always really bugged me was Halo Reach.
Oh,
At the
I
end of that,
know.
I tried really hard to defeat that swarm of Covenant, but it's pointless.
You can get pretty far though.
You can.
Yeah, you have to lose in this fight, and then Zero comes and runs them off. Zero's like their edgy character.
Yeah.
He's like the Knuckles of Mega Man.
That's a really good comparison.
Thank you.
Like a Knuckles to Mega Man Sonic. Yeah, for sure.
I saw a quote from the director of the game, or the main lead. Can't remember his name
Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha.
of Mega Man, and he said he wanted the Mega Man X series to have a more sophisticated world and personality, so they tried to give Sigma a rough personality. That's what he
Oh, yeah.
said, whatever that means. But
Well, I mean, as rough a personality as you can put into an 8-bit game.
Right. Zero saves you, and he basically says we need to go get abilities so we can be as strong as him. He tells us to get strong and meet him at Sigma's Fortress. So we're gonna go through the stages. I'm gonna talk about them the way I went through them, but from what we discussed already, it sounds like you might almost have the same order. Because I went to
Yeah,
Chill Penguin
I
first.
tried to go through the order that made the most sense, but let's hear it out.
You did Chill Penguin first, right?
Yeah, Chill Penguin is a solid place to start. Most people would agree with that.
Yeah. And I like the level too. I don't. It's pretty easy and it's nice looking too. I always like the way snow levels look.
Well, plus it has the upgrade of the dash in it, and you need that
Oh
for
yeah,
other levels.
definitely.
Oh,
And this is where there's a lot of enemies that like make sense with the environment. Like you got rabbits hopping around. You get
you
the
got
guys,
rabbits, and you had oh my god,
the
blanket.
wood cutting guys that
Oh
send the wood
yeah,
stumps at you.
yeah, that was so annoying.
Oh yeah.
And then you
Oh
had like
yeah.
those little helicopter guys. Those were annoying too, because like we said before, you can't shoot straight up.
Yep. And they drop shit right on top of you. I think that's the ones you're
Exactly.
talking about. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And you also get bats here too, which you
All
can't shoot
right,
up.
for sure.
But they die in one hit, so that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Uh,
fine.
I love the way this place looks. You get some nice ice caves that are
Mhm.
pretty good looking, and this is where you get a capsule where of a Dr. Light hologram saying he wishes you didn't have to fight and you could live in peace, and to look out for capsules for upgrades. And you get the
Right.
dash here.
Exactly.
Mega Man definitely dips into the opera territory a little bit, and I think it gets stronger with that in the side games. So you get the dash here, which is very nice because you can go pretty damn fast with it, especially if you jump at the end of
Yeah.
it.
Yes, it extends your jump so you can go like through like farther places.
Yeah,
Like
way farther.
what do you call it? Like chasms again or
Yeah.
holes.
hmm Uh,
Plus, do you need the dash to be able to like walk up walls, or is that
yeah.
just something that already happened?
You can already do that, but
Okay,
this
I
makes
couldn't
it
remember.
much faster because it's pretty slow if you do it without it.
Yeah.
I like these enemies. They're called the flamingos. They're flamingos that have like buzzsaws on their head that they throw at you.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of when you said woodpeckers. Do the woodpeckers do that too?
No, they throw like robotic caterpillars at you.
Interest. Oh yeah, because they're in the one woodsy level with with the chameleon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what flamingos are doing in Chill Penguin stage though. That,
Yeah, that's a little odd.
yeah, but
Are we sure
whatever.
they're flamingos? Is that what the research says?
But
Because I was thinking
whatever.
like they were some sort of Arctic bird, which I'm not super familiar with the aviary of the Arctic region, but you know
Me
what I mean.
neither. But that would make more sense.
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe they just threw it in there because fuck it, it's a fun video game.
You also get to the mech here, and do you like the mech sections?
So the mech, unless you're really good at it's very difficult because if you fall into a hole, it's hard to get out of the mech suit in time to like that you don't die.
Definitely. Yeah, it can definitely fuck you over.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's a nice little mixing gameplay, even though their sections are really short, except for one of them at the end. Along,
Yeah, and isn't there like you come back afterwards and you're able to do more with the mech?
I want to say yeah, but I'm not sure. I don't think I
Okay.
ever revisited Chill Penguin stage after doing other stages.
I know what you mean because it's very straightforward.
Yeah,
But like when you think about it, like if you get the fire after you get the ice, and then you go back and like go back to the ice level, which is Chill Penguin, you would think that like the fire would have some effect on something.
there might be. That would definitely make sense.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think there was like a heart container, not heart container. I'm thinking Zelda, but you know what I mean, like a health container in there somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, same thing. Heart. They're both
Heart
hearts.
health, yeah.
Yeah. Chill Penguin, pretty easy boss. Probably the easiest with the Mega Buster out of all of them.
hmm
All you have to do is like he can. Fuck. What does he do? He can make statues of penguins
He
and send them at you.
he is the most fucking like he's so versatile. Like
Oh yeah,
he not like you I tried to like avoid him by like crawling up the sides of the level and hanging out in the corner and then he'll jump up and smack you.
yeah. And there's like a hook in the middle of the stage. He can jump on the ceiling, chill there for a
Yeah.
while.
Exactly. There's a hook in the middle of the stage, but if he pulls on it, it sends ice in.
Yeah, yeah. It'll blow you around too.
Yeah.
So
It's a healthy level of challenge.
yeah, it's a nice first boss if you
Yeah.
go here first. Then I went to Spark Mandrill.
Okay. Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
That's the one I've been trying to get. That world's more like a factory. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like very much industry.
Which there's a couple of these because the Flame Mana's place is kind of a factory too.
Yeah, yeah.
But it makes sense for a setting with robots, you know.
Robots and also like you need fire to power the machines and shit.
Yeah. So this place has some cool environmental stuff going on. It can get like pitch black dark, and you get these enemies that are like fireflies that create a trail of light.
Mhm.
They're pretty cool. They light up the room, but
Yeah,
they also hit you in the pit.
yeah. So give take.
There's a mid boss here. It's like a big blob of slime. I couldn't tell exactly. It looked like water, but you get stuck in it. I couldn't tell
So
what
it's
it
like
was.
the gelatinous cube from D&D.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Back in the early 90s, that was a big concept of like, what if Jello was sentient and what if it could kill us?
I mean, it can be a pretty fucked up concept.
I mean, it could. Like you could drown in Jello. Like that's some sauce shit.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about what kind of flavored Jello I'd want to drown in.
You know what? I think cherry is like that's my favorite, but at the same time, like if I for somehow start bleeding somehow, like it's not the worst thing to find me in.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Think about
Right?
others.
Look, dude, there's Andrew chilling in some Jello. Oh, he's dead. Oh, that's awesome. That's how that rescue mission goes. I'm more trying to think like the saw trap that would get it there. I feel like somebody's like chained to a grate on the ground, and then the Jello just slowly fills the room until you figure it out.
Or the I think it's Saw 3, where there's the pig intestine trap where they drop the pigs in there
Oh yeah,
and fill it up. They can just do that with Jello and
so
pig
gross.
intestines. Could do both.
Yeah, Jello's a little more PG than pig intestines, I'd say.
Yeah, can do a lot with. So yeah, there's our Saw Jello crossover idea.
Our Saw Mega Man Jello crossover. This is how we got here.
Perfect. So after you fight the Jello robot,
Right.
you get one of my favorite designed enemies. They're called the Mega Tortoises. They shoot bombs in the air. They're like mortars.
Oh yeah, they're in a couple levels. Yeah.
Yeah, and turtle form.
Yeah, and they know exactly the distance to shoot their things.
Yeah, they usually like to put you in area pits or a small area when you fight them to be
Exactly. They're definitely a close range villain.
Yeah. Well, then you eventually get to the boss because this level's not that long. Most of these levels aren't long at all.
No. They can be a little tricky, especially the ones with the mid boss. But yeah.
Yeah, but Sigma's Fortress makes up for everything that's easy. And
yeah.
This guy with Chill Penguin's weapon, it's very easy. You can keep hitting him, and by the time he's not stunned anymore, you can hit him again. So,
yeah,
he is kind of difficult though. He'll jump around and he'll hit electric on the floor that you have to jump over.
Yeah, it's definitely keep your head on a swivel. But like that's any boss, man. Especially like going back to Chill Penguin, that fucker, like you couldn't hide from him.
No,
and you couldn't slow him down really either.
Yeah, especially any of the bosses you go to first, you're definitely limited. They're going to be more difficult
For sure.
I was going to say something, but I forgot. I fucking hate
I'm
that.
sorry, my bad.
Oh no, I do that all by myself. Next you get the I went the armored armadillo next.
Okay.
And I like this stage a lot. This might be one of my favorite stages. It's a cave system, and there's mine carts that you have to ride.
I remember that.
And they have spikes on them, and you're like hitting enemy.
Right.
Super short level. There's just
like you said, a lot of them are super short. Chill Penguin was a mid-range level.
Yeah,
and then like with the water dude. Now I don't mean to jump around too much. With the water dude, I forget his name. He's like a squid or some shit. But like okay. He had like 3 mini bosses in there. They were submarine. They were sucking you in, and yeah, it was crazy.
And there's an optional one in there too.
Yeah, exactly. Like
So in this cave system, there's a couple cool upgrades to get in here, which they're these enemies that break the walls and they chase you, but they want to hit you because they have spikes.
Yep.
But if you go back in their trail, you can find a sub tank and I think a heart tank as well. So this game rewards you for exploring. It's nice.
Exactly. It is one of those games where the more you look into it, the more you will find. It's not like say, you beat the level and that's it.
Yeah.
Definitely got replay value.
I mean, if you do just try the straightforward, play it and not get anything, if you get the Sigma's Fortress, you're going to fuck yourself over.
Oh, yeah. Like, you need those upgrades, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you get like 4 or 5 bosses in a row and no health
Yeah, there's no opportunity to like revive yourself at all. So you need those tanks and you need the bigger health meter.
Which, the very first time I played this game, that's what I did. I just kind of played the game and got to the fortress. And I'm like, this is impossible. I'm like, how?
Like how the hell? Yeah.
But then I realized how much shit I missed. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it does help to have somebody who's played the game before, and you can be like, well, what am I doing? They're like, did you do that without? And you'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't know about that. And they'll be like, damn, that's why.
Yeah. Like, you ever play Banjo-Kazooie?
Oh hell yeah, dude, I love that game. Like
Well, that was
if you could see into my lounge right now, you'd see my Banjo Kazooie stuff.
hell yeah.
I love all that shit.
That's what our first episode was on, was Banjo.
Yeah.
So the end boss of that, which is pretty damn hard, Grunty.
Oh yeah, Grunty has like 5 stages. It's stupid, and like
Well,
there's no opportunity for you to get any health.
yeah, and I just completed it, and I didn't realize till after we recorded the episode because one of the guests told me there's a double health thing you
Oh
can
yeah,
get.
yeah. If you
Yeah,
have enough,
I
you
didn't
didn't
know
know
that.
that. You were
And
doing it with single health. Oh my god, dude, you
I
did it.
had the notes. I completed every world all the way, so I just missed the door.
That sucks. But like, if you could do it, like more power to you. But like, oh my god, you did it the hard way,
Yeah, and I didn't even know it took me like 10 tries.
right?
Uh,
Dude, I feel like a piece of shit because like I got all the extras and I still like took 10 tries to beat Grunty.
hard fight.
It's so difficult. And, like by the time you have to feed the Jinzos, she's like blasting you.
And like nothing else is hard to kill in the game.
No, everything
And,
else is like a one hitter.
and then she comes along and just
They really don't do bosses in that game either.
No, it's just weird because Tui has a lot of them and good ones.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Mega Man.
Mega Man.
I
We're
took
all
us
over
to
the place.
Banjo.
Shout out.
Good stuff.
That's
So,
good.
Armored Armadillo, I like this fight. He like rolls around and bounces off the walls. If you have the spark weapon, you can break his armor off though and do
You have the
some good
what
damage.
weapon?
Spark Mandrill's weapon.
Oh, right.
Yeah. This boss is way harder later though. In Sigma's Fortress, they put you in a small arena and you can bounce all over it fast as hell. And I feel like they have double health in Sigma's Fortress. I don't know for sure.
They might. Like, I mean, they might have been like, well, you handle it one time. Let's see if you can ramp it up.
Which would make sense because you have all the weaknesses now.
Yeah.
I want the Launch Octopus after this, which is an underwater stage.
Launch Octopus is so like getting to Launch Octopus is so frustrating.
Yeah, I don't care for this level, but that's any water level to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Because at least you don't like run out of air.
Right. And the enemies are cool. They look
Yeah.
like you get these robot seahorses that attack you, but they suck. They're annoying. There's like
And then
robots.
you get like 3 submarine bosses.
Yeah, they're like big old robotic anglerfish that
They're kind of similar with Chill Penguin because like it blows and sucks you around.
Yeah, and there's one you have to fight where there's spikes to the left hand right of you.
Yeah, which is just one more like really
just dick move.
Yeah, dick move, bro.
But it is nice. You don't have to worry about air because you're a robot.
Yeah, like in Sonic and Mario, all those games, you have to worry about air. But like in this one, at least that's one thing you don't have to. I feel like in the development stages of it, they're like, yeah, we should probably give them an air tank that you have to refill. And then they're like, what are you not? Like they were like, no, there's no way to beat that.
Yeah, I'm sure some asshole tried to get it in there.
Right.
Should worry about rust though.
Oh yeah, but like rust doesn't stop when you take it out of water. You'd have to like fully dry it off. So like it becomes super complicated.
Yeah, maybe in like Mega Man X8 they talk about that.
Maybe.
There's also a another mini boss here. It's a giant like eel serpent. It doesn't really attack you. It just kind of swims back and forth.
Yeah, that one. It's how do you want to put this? Like it's difficult just because it's like a battle of attrition. How much you can like beat him every time like he comes at you. Because if you stay up on the one ledge, he'll never be able to touch you. But like he just swims in a circle and it takes forever to beat him.
Yeah, because you have to hit him. I think only in the head and the tail.
Head and the tail, yeah.
He has a lot of health.
Yeah, and it'd be helpful if they like gave you health bars on other things too.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
So there's an optional thing here. There's like a ship on the water floating, and you can blow that up and ride it down, and it breaks through the floor, and you get another big eel boss like the one we just talked about. Another one of those guys. Fight him, and you get what the hell? Oh, a heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Container. Yep, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so there's like you said, there's replay value.
Yeah, and I like that they put that environmental stuff because I think that type of shit was fairly new.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not going to the Mushroom Kingdom or Emerald or whatever the fuck it's called. Sonic's one, Speedway or whatever. Green Hill Zone. I knew it was Emerald something, but
Green Hill and Motor
Chaos Emeralds
Speedway.
are. But anyway, it's not like one of those where it's like, what is this? This is very much so like with the environment.
Right, and it feels like an actual place, like a
Yeah,
world,
like it's
instead
very
of
dystopian.
yeah, like you said, like Sonic feels like you're like on a track. It doesn't feel like you're in a world, at least in the
Sonic
early ones.
Sonic is like if you're like out on an island and then Sonic is just there. And Mario is like you go down a pipe, you're in a magical mushroom kingdom. So
Mushroom Magic, yeah,
mushroom
pretty much.
magic. Yeah, yeah.
I was never really a big fan of Sonic.
Oh,
I'm trying
I
though.
love some old school Sonic, but that's another tough one.
Yeah, like we have Sonic 2 on the schedule coming up, so I'm I'm,
Nice.
I'm gonna play
That's the one
through
where
it.
they introduced Knuckles, correct?
I think that might be 3,
That might be 3.
but
They introduced Tails, I think, maybe.
right, yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Right. Next up, we just
Yeah.
beat. Oh wait, we didn't talk about the boss, Launch
Oh
Octopus.
yeah, yeah. Let's talk about Launch Octopus.
Yeah. I didn't really learn his patterns because his fish kept fucking hitting me,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't
Which is just
figure it out.
another added part of the boss battle.
Yeah, I just face tanked him. I just didn't really try to dodge.
Yeah, you just kind of like had to tank through there.
Yeah, and it worked because
You
that
only have to be
strategy.
right once.
Right, exactly. But it's a pretty cool fight. I like his design and stuff. Octopuses are cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like if they didn't want to make him like so like humanoid, they could have done so much more with the octopus element.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like it could have been so much more crazy, but like again, early '90s,
And it was their first Mega Man X game. Maybe they're trying to like keep it simple. Maybe crazier shit happens in the next ones.
maybe.
Because I
I
noticed
like yeah.
a lot of these enemies, a lot of the bosses kind of have the same type of attack.
Oh yeah,
With the exception of like Storm Eagle, who can like swoop down at you. Which is
Storm
pretty cool.
Eagle. That's just a slog to kind of get through because like the Storm Eagles like they may well we'll get there
Yeah, that's in. We'll get there in a couple levels.
we'll get there in
Uh,
a couple levels.
I went to Boomer Kawanger next,
Uh
and this is my least favorite level.
go on.
Just the layout and the enemies. These have those shield robots that you only can attack when they put their shield down when they go to
Yeah.
attack you. Fucking hate
Yeah.
them. And they put them on the edge of platforms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So they kind of like they just kind of like pop. You can't get past them.
you can if you like boost wall jump, but it can be annoying because there's also wall turret that are shooting at you. So this level
Yeah.
pretty much just says, fuck you and your platforming.
Right. Exactly. It's like you're gonna have to deal with every single one of these.
There's a thing here that they only use once. There's like these trip lasers. If you hit them, a robot comes out that like zaps you with like perfect accuracy.
Yeah.
So
I hate that shit.
yeah,
Like even do you not? I hate in games. How do you feel about this in games whenever they like have those homing things that you cannot dodge?
it really depends on the game.
Yeah.
Like a game like that has them saying like a lot. God damn it.
Oh, good.
Super Meat Boy, which is a game I've been playing, has homing stuff, but it makes sense because it's a platformer and it kind of has its own strategy. But a
love
shooter
plat-
game or like a first-person shooter or anything, I hate it.
Yeah. Like whenever you like say Star Fox, like if they have a homing thing in there and you can't dodge it, you can't roll past it, like that, it's automatically you're like, well, now I have to mitigate that damage.
Yeah, especially your first time playing through the level, you're not going to know really how to avoid that. So I guess I'm going to take that missile damage.
Well, like you got to figure back in the day when the game didn't have save stations. Like you had like 3, maybe 4 chances before. Well, I guess you could have escaped to a different level and got more lives. But like if you're just trying to push through, it's like you get like 3 chances to really figure out the weaknesses, and then you have to enter the code again.
There's a lot more. There's higher stakes
Yes,
when you're playing with passwords and live.
exactly. I'm kind of happy that like video games currently. This is for what it's worth. Video games currently, like you don't really run out of lives. You just kind of respawn.
Unless you're playing like some weird indie game, but
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true. It's nice.
I think we've
Now
evolved past the need for lives.
Now I'm feeling old. These goddamn kids.
These
with their-
goddamn kids in there. Oh, dude, like you got so much more to figure out. No, these goddamn kids in your
regenerating health.
You're regenerating health. You're over shields.
Back in my day, we needed canteens and med pack.
And then like sometimes the game didn't even put it in there.
Right.
It's like they wanted it to die. Sorry, that's my old whippersnapper voice.
I mean, I went back recently and played Call of Duty Finest Hour. Man, I was so used to like regenerating health. I was getting fucked up just everywhere.
Yep. That's why like I played as far as first person shooters, I played Halo first. and like it ruined every other first-person shooter I ever tried to play.
Yeah, for sure. Because they keep that even like
Yeah.
the same health system on Infinite, don't they? I
If
haven't played Infinite yet.
they like edit it a little bit, make it a little more challenging. But like, let's be real. If you have an overshield or like a regenerating health meter that doesn't bleep every 3 seconds, then you're doing good.
Yeah, it's better than like, man, I hate in Zelda when you have 3 heart or less than 3 heart.
Yeah,
The
that
beeping.
annoying beat. Like it's the same in Pokemon when your Pokemon's about to faint.
Doo 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 doo.
Oh my god! Let me sing you the song of my people.
Yeah, I just got done playing Pokemon Yellow. First Pokemon game I beat.
Oh really? So we
Um,
were. Where did we leave off? We left off that dude with the sonic booms or whatever.
Terrible game.
Yeah.
Sonic Boom. Speaking of which, things we don't know how to say. What is it? Boomer Kawanger? Is that how you say it? Kawanger?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know how to even pronounce. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese beetle.
Uh,
I think that's what it's supposed to be. I think I might
oh,
have heard that somewhere. But before you get to him, there's more about this level I want to bitch about.
go ahead.
The elevator ride where you have to avoid spikes and enemies flying down at you can go
Hmm.
fuck itself.
Yeah,
Anything is spike, because just
pretty
because they're
much
one
spikes
hit,
in general or whole.
yeah, holes and spikes.
Yeah,
And then just more platforming fuckery. You get to a wall where like there's a floor that pops out of the wall and turrets are
mm.
on it, so you have to climb that and you have to jump on ladders while you're getting shot at. And the ladders have invisible chameleons that would knock you off of them.
Yeah. They did not want this game to be beaten.
No, not really.
They're like, you can beat it, but you're gonna pay for it.
Oh yeah.
And here I am, 30 years later.
Right, right. This boss, he's pretty easy if I used the missiles, but he's aggressive. He'll always be up your ass and he'll grab you too. I hate
Yeah,
getting grabbed in any game.
yeah, exactly. Because you got to break out of it.
So yeah, fuck this stage.
Yeah.
And the boss, he's an asshole too. Get out of
Yep.
here.
And like again, anything that grabs you is automatically like, fuck that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, there's enemies like that in Launch Octopus stage that I hate. Those fish that eat you and you have to break out of them.
Yeah, that's a little bit better because they don't hurt you whenever you break out of them. Like
Oh, that's true.
the
Yeah.
in the sky stage, they have those grabber claw machine guys that
Nah.
like grab you and they explode. You can't
Yeah.
break out without them exploding.
As soon as you get under them, they home in right at.
Yeah, and it's
Ah.
one of those things where the element you can't shoot straight up plays in.
Yep, yep. The next stage might be my favorite, maybe. Sting Chameleon stage, just because it's a forest and all the enemies make sense for them to be there,
Yeah.
and it's not too difficult.
I remember as a kid, Sting Chameleon was one of the ones I could actually beat. Like, I never beat Chill Penguin, but like as a kid, but like I remember beating the Sting Chameleon.
Yeah, he's not too difficult.
Right.
And his stage isn't difficult either. This is one of those levels that the environment changes if you beat something else. If you beat Launch Octopus, there's like a flooded area you can get to a heart tank now, and you get a long mech section here too. I mean,
Yeah, that's cool.
changes up the gameplay a bit.
Yeah.
You can also get the body upgrade here, which makes it so you take 50% less damage.
Oh, so it's like an armor upgrade.
Yeah, what was it? There's a place you jump to and you wall climb up somewhere, if I remember correctly. And there's a mini boss here. It's like a chunky robot, and guess what? It can grab you.
Probably a Gutsman guy.
It's pretty much like Gutsman, yeah, yeah. But it's a good thing to have because you take 50% less damage, which
No,
is
for sure. That's kind of like you always like anytime you get an upgrade in that game, it's always has something to do with the level you're in or like the enemy you're fighting.
yeah. And I think I like all the weapons in this game. I think they all have pretty good use.
For sure, they all have at least a little bit of a array of things they can do.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really use the flamethrower that much, but
Which you could have had you chosen to.
yeah.
Like maybe that's one
exactly.
of the things. Like through a replay, you realize more.
That'd probably be good to keep it on while you're platforming. You'll shred anything in front of you.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
like while you're platforming, also you could use the air from the eagle, and that would
Right.
blow them. Yeah, you know what I mean. It goes straight up.
Yeah, super nice. Storm Eagle. I like
Yeah.
this stage a lot.
That's one of my favorites, actually.
There's a lot of moving platforms, but I like going fast in this level. I always go fast in games.
Yeah, it's one of those levels that can allow you to do that. And there's secret hidden things in it too. Like they have those tanks that are pressurized. Like they look like pressurized tanks. You can blow them up, and they lead you to different levels or different areas.
Yeah, and there's like a big window here you can destroy and get the sub tank in.
Yes, which is real. Which I always thought that was like a sky ship or something, but I have no idea.
You know what? I'm not sure either. I could
But
have looked
like
at it better.
the one part, you blow out all the windows at once, and it's really kind of cool to see it in that level of animation.
Yeah, it really is. You can also get the helmet upgrade here, which lets you Mario certain block,
Yeah.
break him with your head,
Yes. Yes.
which is important because I think you use that move to get a heart tank or something later, maybe.
I'm not sure, but I think you can use it for like those enemies that are directly above you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's obvious. It's I mean all there's use for all the upgrades, and you don't need to get all of them to beat the game, but like it's
It helps.
definitely it helps.
It's worth your time and worth it definitely makes searching around and replaying levels.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a fun stage to get fast in. The boss, I kind of like this boss, but I kind of don't.
Yeah,
He's
there's this one part where they fly out of the camera view
yeah,
and they
yeah,
swipe down at you, and you kind of have to guess where they're coming.
yeah, and that can be a little annoying.
Oh, that could be so frustrating.
Yep, yeah. I mean, it's different, pretty different than most of the bosses,
Hmm.
and I think.
And like you said before, the upgrade you get from it is also different from most of the bosses.
Yeah, which one was his? The one
But it's like the tornadoes.
that shoots out like
Yeah,
far ahead of you. Yeah,
they go up, then they do the
right.
like the
Yeah.
entirety of the screen. They sweep out.
Yeah, good for clearing screen
Yeah.
with annoying ass enemy. Then we have Flame Man. This
Oh
place is
boy.
pretty easy, really easy if you beat Chill Penguin because the whole thing freezes over and you can skip a lot.
Mhm.
You can find the charge upgrade here, which makes it so you can charge up any of the secondary weapons and get a new
Oh,
attack out of them.
yeah.
Which
Forgot about
there's some pretty good ones, but
for sure.
I didn't use it all too much because it takes so long to charge.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like one of those drawbacks. You know what I mean? There's obviously pros, but there's drawbacks.
Right. If you're really good at dodging, it's worth it. If you
Yeah,
know you can spend the time to do it.
exactly. Like if you were to go there before you do the Storm Eagle, like you'd be a lot better at dodging. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's for some reason I didn't make any notes about this boss. But,
He's he's
he's
a
not,
little crazy. He jumps around and he shoots fire out of his what do you call it? Trunk.
and he can ground pound and like stun you if
Yes.
you're on the ground when he does it.
Yes.
He's a big boss. Might be the biggest out of all the Maverick
He
robot
might
masters.
be, man. Because
Yeah,
they're all kind of like aerodynamic. He's a mammoth.
it makes sense. He's huge,
Yeah, exactly.
and he can jump high. But
Yeah, he's a strong son of a bitch.
here is so now let me tell you about fucking Sigma Fortress.
Tell me about this.
So stage one, you get in there and you get a scene. You get a scene of Zero, and you both head in together and decide to split up. He goes ahead, so you can slip in. There's like badass music going on. It really feels like you're in the end game. Like it just makes you
It
feel like,
always pays off. Or it's always a great thing when like 8-bit games have a good soundtrack.
yeah, it's nice. It's impressive because a lot of work.
Like if you go back to Sonic, like for a minute, one of my favorite games of all, like out of all any games I've ever played, is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. It was for the GameCube. It was originally for the Dreamcast, but like
Yeah, I played it.
yeah, oh, it's so good. Like City Escape still lives in my head
Hmm.
rent free.
It feels nice being overpowered, having all these weapons going through this area,
Mhm.
because you're fighting a lot of the enemies you fought before and just blasting through them. Although there's a lot of tricky platforming with moving platforms, so it sucks ass here.
Yeah, that would be rough.
You get the vial, which was the purple guy from the
Yep,
beginning.
yep.
And Zero tells you to stay back, and you chase him. And Vile captures Zero, and then you fight Vile. This is where I wasted a shit ton of ammo because I didn't know you have to lose again.
Again, yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
god. Why would you
yeah.
do that twice in one game with the same villain?
Especially when you have all your powers. Like, this is when I'm supposed to beat him, right?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. And you actually have resources to have wasted.
Yeah. So he captures you in an energy field, and then Zero blows himself up to blow up his mech. But not him, just his mech.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. I remember that for some reason. I don't remember why, but I remember seeing that.
Well, this is before all the difficult stuff, real difficult fortress stuff happened, so you might have made it to here.
We may have.
This is before it gets crazy. But you do fight Sigma, and he is tough. I used Boomer Coinger's weapon, the blade that does like the boomerang.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I think he's Australian. He's like he does boomerangs and shit. So it's like it's like an Australian thing. I don't think he's a Japanese beetle, but he might be some. I think it has to do with Australia. Sorry,
That would
it
make
just
sense
occurred
too.
to me. What's that?
That would make sense too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after you beat him, Zero's still alive, but he's like dying, and you head on without him. You know, soap opera stuff.
Yeah.
Then you get to a big
Compelling
spider boss.
gameplays.
Yeah. You get to a big spider boss, which really sucks.
Yeah.
It can there's like ladders in the background looking things, and goes down them super fast, and it's huge, and it can hit you, and it takes a lot of ammo to kill it, and you only can hit it at very specific times. So it's
Let
not
me
like
ask
you
you
can
this
just
though:
empty
does
out
it
and
have a
run.
health meter?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool.
So
Like
you
that
at
makes
least
it a
get
little
that.
bit more like palatable.
Yeah, I always like seeing the health meter.
Yeah.
After you beat him, you go to part 2, and this is where you have to fight Boomer Kuwanger, Chill Penguin, Storm Eagle all in a row. And all of this, it's not too bad, but if you mess up pretty bad, you're not going to have health for later. So
Yeah, they don't have a lot of like the little guys.
you really got to be careful. And when I did this without save states, I
My
replayed this
God.
whole thing a million times.
Yeah, you'd have to go. Oh my God, I'd kill myself.
Oh yeah, you get these spike shield guys and bats flying at you, and you have to land on the platform, so you're gonna get hit a lot there, unless
Yeah.
you use your weapon. But the thing is, if you use your ammo on your other weapons and you die later, you have to redo this section without those weapons because you used the ammo, and the ammo
Yep.
doesn't replenish
Yep.
unless you run out of lives. Then you have to restart the whole damn thing over. Well,
Which is
spoilers.
again 8-bit Dark Soul.
Yeah, yep. Then you get a boss that's like a Nintendo staple. Nintendo loved doing this shit. It's a big bass in the background that move.
Oh, they love that
And
shit.
yeah, and you have to hit its eyes and like wall jump. There's spikes in the middle, of course,
Obviously,
and
because why wouldn't there be?
it's just real difficult, right?
Because like, why not?
But after you beat it, you get a checkpoint because you go to the third part. Then you fight Armadillo, Sting Chameleon, Spark Mandrill, Launch Octopus, Flame Mammoth, and the D-Rex boss all in a row.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and the D-Rex is a tank that will block your way forward, so in order to dodge it, you have to jump through it, and it can crush you while you're jumping through it. It's rough.
Amazing.
Then you get to the final part. There's a lot of pickups here at the beginning, so if you do die and waste all your ammo, you can grind that out here. At least they are a little
Yeah, if you make it this far.
considerate, yeah.
Yeah.
Before you fight the boss, you have to fight his pet, which
Yeah.
can also be difficult.
What was his pet though? I forget. Wasn't it like a weird panthery thing?
Yep.
Yep.
It's a robot panther that jumps around the screen and breathes fire. And it has a pattern, but it's so fast that it feels like it doesn't.
See, like, yeah, I don't know. That just sounds like beating my head against the wall. But like, if it's got a pattern, then you can kind of somewhat predict. It slows it down a little bit.
Right. Yeah. But there's 3 end bosses basically here in a row, and no health in between.
Sounds part of the course.
You fight this guy, and then you fight Sigma himself. Oh yeah, Sigma looks pretty cool. He's like a pretty tall, humanoid-looking robot that's bald and has a cape. And he has like a lightsaber because he throws off his cape, and he has like a hilt of a weapon, and it comes up like a lightsaber. So
yeah, definitely some Star Wars influence on that one.
Yeah. So he has a green lightsaber. You're fighting a bald Jedi.
Yep.
He's fast, and he jumps around while jumping everywhere, just like his pet. And he's huge, so he can be difficult to dodge.
Now let me ask you this: does he have a pattern?
Yes. I
Okay.
remember when I played it without save states, it took me a while to get down, but he does have a pattern.
Nice.
This part,
that'll slow it down and just you kind of got to execute at that point.
yeah, I remember his pattern being more reliable than his pet's pattern, actually.
Okay.
Well, you beat him, and then you get the part 3 of a fight because you blow up his body, and his head goes on top of a giant mech that's been in the background of the level. So it's the size of the screen. And with this fucking fight, there's no wall-to-wall jump on, but you have to reach the top of the screen to shoot his head. So you have to jump on his hands, and his hands shoot out electric and fire.
Oh, cool.
And they have spikes on the side.
Of fucking course. No, I'm just kidding. Like, like everything else is fine, but just fuck those spikes.
And I'm pretty sure there's a few more things flying around trying to kill. It's rough.
Now, those things that are flying around, once you defeat them, do you get health?
No.
Oh, cool. Because why would you?
Yeah. It reminded me of, once again, a Banjo, where at the end, I wasn't even worried about dodging. I was just like, come on, get this over. Just fucking do it.
It's like,
shoot,
do the thing. I have enough life to survive.
Yeah.
It's a calculated thing.
And that's why it's worth getting those sub-tanks earlier in the game and stuff, just so you can refill your life a little bit. Like,
you honestly kind of have to.
I want to see the person that like had this as a kid, didn't get any upgrades, and actually beat Sigma's Fortress.
I want to see that person. They're probably a sociopath. Right. Let's be real here.
I mean, I know they're out there, but damn.
I know you exist, but like, what is your existence? You know what I mean? What is it like? I don't know.
Difficult one.
I guess no, the most efficient like mechanical thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, reflexes from hell.
So would you say that the final boss of Mega Man X is deserving of the final boss spot.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so what would you rank then the second hardest fight?
In the game?
So, yeah.
Probably the Vile fight,
Okay.
right at the part 1 of Sigma's Fortress, because he's pretty difficult too. Out of the Robot Masters, I would say probably Launch Octopus,
Yeah.
just because I never could get his pattern down.
He's a weird one. Like, and besides that, like once you reach him, like it's one of those things we talked about before, where it's like you calculate, well, I don't have enough health to beat him this time, so I'm kind of gonna do a little four runner stuff, kind of get an idea of what he's doing. Then I'm gonna die, and then I'll be able to fight him with a full health tank.
Yeah, and he has a couple spots where when he's doing the move in the middle, where he's like swirling around, you can't hit him there. He's invincible.
Yeah.
And when he shoots out his fist, he shoots out 4 of them, and your bullets don't go through them.
Yeah.
So they can block him.
So he's kind of got like that almost like plot armor.
Yeah.
I mean,
sacrificing his minions to save him.
Yeah.
Launch Octopus.
Yep.
So the ending, you destroy Sigma and watch as the fortress crashes into the water. You're on a cliffside, and this happens in the original Mega Man games. In the ending, you're on a cliffside watching a fortress crash.
As one does.
And you get some nice epic music and text saying that the war ended and there's peace for now, and those who've fallen will never return. Okay, sure. There's like, what is it? I think X8 or X7's the last.
Yeah, and you mean to tell me that like Sigma never reared his head again?
Right, and it's not like there's a Zero spin-off series of 4 games. They'll never return.
Nah, fuck that. Nah, you're full of shit. Nah. Of course, we have the luxury of hindsight.
Right. I wonder how many Mega Man games they actually planned that they were going to do. Because with the spin-offs, there's well over 100. There's like fighting ones. There's a soccer game. Like,
it's a ridiculous amount of. It's like more than Mario games.
Yeah, they have a few like mobile exclusive ones.
I feel like with Mega Man was never as popular as say like Mario or Zelda. But like their strategy was to flood the market with so many different kinds of games that at least some of them had to stick.
Yeah, they're just fishing.
Yes.
And yeah, some of them stuck. They did the thing that who was having trouble with mascot? Sega, but they just had Sonic. But I know they were trying to get more.
Sega tried to do a lot of stuff too. Like they had Earthworm Jim, they had Toe Jam Earl.
Yep.
And they were all like really gross characters, except for Sonic, which is probably why Sonic survived.
Yeah, that's very true. Huh. I never thought of that. They
and then,
were
like,
kind of gross characters.
Yeah, exactly. Like with the Earthworm Jim, I'd love to revisit that again, but like it's kind of very little boy game. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go play in the dirt with earthworms.
I'm sure I'll do an Earthworm Jim episode at some point. I have some memories of it. I don't think they're good memories.
Hey man, like it's all just a vantage point. You know what I mean? It's all perception.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's peace forever now, apparently.
Until
Then you get some soap opera inner monologue. XU. He's asking himself how long will he be fighting and how long will his pain last. And then it says maybe only the X-Buster on his arm knows for sure.
What a way to say that's kind of like a middle finger, you know?
Yeah, like what does that even mean? Honest, like
yeah. Also, he's a cyborg, isn't he? Or is he full android?
He's full android.
Okay. I wanted to say he was part human, but no, I guess still like you're suffering. Like, what are you even trying to save? Is there any human life, or are you just fighting robots against robots?
Oh, man, this is some Detroit Become Human stuff.
Right.
At least I think he's an android. I don't know if he has any human parts to him. I don't know the Mega Man lore.
Also, wait a minute. If Mega Man's over, I'm poking holes at this point. Because I think we're at that point.
Yeah.
So like this happened 100 years after the first Mega Man games ended, right?
Yeah.
So is the scientist guy still alive?
No, he's dead at this point.
So he's basically Cortana.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about it, like he's like, oh, you need to find more pods like this, and I hope your suffering doesn't last that long.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dr. Light is Cortana in Mega Man X. That makes sense.
Yeah. Just like that little guy, the Nevi character.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, Mega Man. Hey, Mega Man. Or no, they had another name for him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, I mean, back in the show, he actually had a human name.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, him and his brother had human names, and then Dr. Wily, who was Dr. Light's assistant, like betrayed him and took Proto Man with him, and they started calling him Proto Man, or maybe it was Proto Boy. I don't remember. But
Oh
like they
boy.
both had like human names, and the only thing I really remember about the Mega Man character was, first of all, he's a kid, but he was voiced by the same guy who does the voice for Goku in the English dub.
That's pretty great. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you got your start somewhere. It was with Mega Man.
Honestly, I like this game, but I wouldn't say I love it, you know?
It's
Um,
definitely one of those like brain teaser puzzle kind of things.
I mean, I feel like most people that really love this game are like you that like grew up with it, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And I didn't really grow up with Mega Man, so
yeah. I could see like jumping in. It's like, well, this is like when you're a kid, it's like, oh my god, this is so cool. But like as you get older and then you're introduced to it, it's like, wow, this is really dumb.
I mean, I still enjoyed my time with it, but a lot of people are like, top 5 best SNES games. I
Oh
played
god,
a
no.
lot. I played a lot of Super Nintendo games, and at least to me, Mega Man X is great, but there's so much more better ones, in
I'll
my
say, yeah,
opinion.
I agree with you, but I'll say like you have to take off your rose-colored nostalgia glasses to really get an examination of this game,
Yeah, and
and really,
maybe it has
really the
something to do with
franchise.
I'm not like great at this game by any means. Maybe I could see this game being better for people that have those reflexes that can really fuck up this game and get through it.
Yeah, it takes a special kind of person. You have to have like a certain set of skills. You know
Like,
what the perfect amount of bits is?
huh,
64.
you know what? Yeah, true.
As I look off into the distance and a tear wells up in the side of my eye. Ah, man.
Do you have anything else you want to say about Mega Man X?
I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Hmm.
Because like it was definitely time consuming. It was very challenging, but it was so satisfying to be able to achieve things in that game because you know
Yeah,
you earned it.
definitely, for sure. It
So,
it is very satisfying to find things, and a lot of games have you find this bonus shit. Even games that I play today that don't even have any effect. So in the end, I'm like, what the fuck am I collecting all this shit for?
right, exactly. Like in Wario or Super Mario 3 Wario, where they have you collect all those treasures for nothing.
I mean, except for like a slightly better ending, but it doesn't do anything to the gameplay.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
yeah, it unlocks like it's like the end of Banjo Kazooie where they were trying to make it so that the technology would transfer over to Banjo Tooie, and you collected those things, and then it ended up not working, so it was just kind of a thing in the game.
the stop and swap stuff looks
Yes.
like yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it definitely improved the game. Like, well, I mean, it improved your memory, the experience, but it didn't
Yeah.
really do much for the game itself. Like, I collected like what is it like, however many thousands of music notes, and all the puzzle pieces for essentially nothing. But it's because I like to complete the game, and it gives you a slightly better ending.
Yeah, and I don't even in Banjo, I don't think you get anything special for 100%ing it in game.
Well, like I think mine, whenever I played it the last time, and I know this is beyond the scope of Mega Man X, but whenever I played Banjo Kazooie the last time on the Switch through the whatever
Yeah,
pack,
Switch Online.
I think there was an error in it because I was always 7 notes short in the haunted world, and I looked it up like where are all the notes in the world, and there was one spot there were no notes where there should have been notes.
Did you say you had 7 missing?
Yes.
You know, I had the same thing, but I think I ended up going into a room in Mad Monster Mansion, like at one of the windows you break on one of the sides.
Bro, I gotta tell you, like I did absolutely every fucking thing I could think of, and I looked it up on it online. I just think it's easier for me to call it a glitch than me to be that much of a failure. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I mean, glitches happen, definitely.
Yeah,
That would be horrible though, having being locked out of a whole collectible.
yeah.
So, all right, I think we can wrap this up. Is there anything that like you want to plug or that you're working?
So
You
I'm working on a podcast that is unnamed, and so far I have all the equipment, but it's unnamed. But it's going to be if you remember the shows on VH1, I love the 70s, I love the 80s, I love the 90s. They stopped whenever it reached year 2000, and I'm going to be doing a podcast that would review 2000 to 2010, and then 2011 to 2020, and just kind of cultural impacts and like also historical events. essentially how we got here. And the working title as of now is Young's Guide to Yesterday. So be on the lookout for that.
Actually, sounds really interesting. You told me a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to you some off air about that.
Oh, for sure. I'm happy to answer questions, get you in there as a analyst, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I'll put the description. I'll put all that info in the description. So
Thanks, man. I still gotta work on the title and getting all the shit together, but I have all the equipment, so we're there.
hell yeah.
It's not just gonna be a podcast, it's gonna be a video podcast, so
Okay, cool.
it's gonna be interesting.
So if you want to come on the show and talk about a game, just email me at neverenoughgaming@outlook.com. Do any game, don't care. We like mini episodes. You want to talk about
Gotta catch them all, man.
yeah, let's talk about Candy Crush or Subway Surfers.
Yeah, right. What about are you willing to do an episode on Bejeweled Blitz?
I fucking love Bejeweled. Hell yeah.
Do you remember the game Snood?
Yeah,
Dude, that was so stupidly addictive.
a lot of those games are so simple but addicting. I like those.
You should do like an old arcade like type episode with like a bunch of different featured games like Tetris, Snood, what is it, Snake, all that stuff.
I'm sure I will at some point.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
And it's been a hoot.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's been fun.
All right, man. I'll catch you next time.
Hold on, I'm gonna end the recording and let's talk a little bit for a second.
Cool.
Thank you for listening to Never Enough Gaming. Hope you enjoyed.